What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another Palworld video. That's right, this is the first actual early access video. It is out right now. You guys can see there's a lot of Q&A sections here for you guys to look at and discover. But the game is currently out on Steam. It is out in English, Japanese, and I believe this is Chinese. I could be wrong. But anyways, the game is in fact out for Steam. So if you are looking to start it, this is the time to do it. Now, this game is in fact a survival Pokemon catch 'em all kind of game. So if you play games like Ark, Rust, Conan, etc., you're probably fully aware how survival games work. There's a lot of gathering, there's a lot of crafting, there's a lot of exploring with the pals, aka rip-off Pokemons, in the game. Now, I've started my own world. I'm going to show you guys how this works. I'm going to walk you guys through some of the basics here and how everything functions. So you can create your own world here, name it whatever you want, etc. And you can play around with the settings and do what you like with it. So in my case, let's just confirm. You guys can see him multiplayer off or on. It's up to you how you want to do that. There's co-op. You can do custom settings. You can actually damage, multiply, etc. to just explore, have fun. If you want to do this casually, you can, as a matter of fact, take away all your death penalties. So like no penalties at all. For example, no drops, maximum number of guilds involved. Drop multiplier. You can maximize this, minimize this, however you want. So it's going to be catered to how you want to play the game, okay? So it's completely up to you how you want to function with that. Now, when you first start the game, you're going to have a character select screen. I'm not going to show, I guess I could show you guys how it works. So let's go ahead and jump in here, and I'll show you guys how this is going to function, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is create a character. It is a male-female type character. There's no other options. There are very, very generic type of creation options. Eyes, nose, mouth. Actually, no, I don't even think we go that far. I think it's face, mouth, not even, maybe face, eyes, hair, beard, and then color, and then your iris, and then some body size, right? So here, I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about real quick. Okay, so here's the presets. Pick a preset. We'll pick a boy here. Okay, so body type, again, you can change the torso. You can make him massive if you want, or you can make him skinny. I mean, this is kind of weird, right? But you guys can see 1 and 2. But yeah, it's a little unproportional, and you can make it that way if you want. You can do whatever you want here. So there's the face option. Again, you can choose what face you want: angry face, sad face, whatever the case may be. Right? It'll change it accordingly based on your choices. And then your hair, I'm bald, so we can do bald face. And then the voice option. So very straightforward in terms of what it offers. So let's actually jump in here, and I'll show you guys how this works. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create this. And then we'll go ahead and jump into the world and do this one over again. So I've actually got an account. I've got a level 9 account right now that I've captured quite a bit of these guys and having a blast. But I do want to show you guys how this works and what you want to do and how it all functions and what makes Palworld special. So first off, when you jump onto the game, you're going to be introduced with this little cutscene which shows the pals kind of surrounding you, and then this little pal dex. I call it pal dex. Which kind of gives you a hint of what's going on and what you should be searching for. So when you start exploring the world, remember a couple of things. It's a hunting gathering game. You're going to need to do a lot of gathering and exploring, okay? So you start off like this. You guys can see here the world is pretty large, but we're going to go back here and we're going to grab something. So make sure you turn back around and grab this little Pokédex that you're going to see in the bottom down there. And there's a chest here as well, if I recall, right there. So grab this as well too. Boom, there we go. Got yourself a two pal spheres, some gold coins, and a small pal soul. So the game is all about exploring. It really is. At the end of the day, it's about pals. Yes, it's about missions. But at the end of the day, you are going to need to explore quite a bit. So there's what I was talking right there. Grab this, and bam, you got yourself the first Pickup Castaway Journal. Okay. Now you could go further down here and explore more, but I suggest going back up and then getting your first fast travel. Now, if you can see on the top right, there's a tutorial, and I'm going to move my screen here as well, just so you guys are aware of this. I'm going to move my screen up here, actually, so you guys can see some of these things that are happening, okay? That I have, there's a health bar, there's a stamina bar, there's a food bar, okay? And then there's a temperature bar right beside it, because all of that stuff does matter. Now, you can play with a controller or keyboard and mouse. I'm currently playing with a controller, and the game works as follows. You will be running around. You'll be following this tutorial. So the first thing it asks you to do is pick up fallen branches or hit trees to get some wood. It wants you to pick up one piece of wood from the ground. So pretty straightforward. You can either find a tree, like it says, hit the tree and pick it up, or you can just look around and eventually you'll find a big piece of wood just lying around somewhere. And these are some of the pals that roam around the world. For example, this bad boy here is one of the bosses for this specific area. You don't want to mess with it. It's level 38. You probably won't be playing against that boss for quite some time. So here's a piece of wood, for example. Grab it. Bam. Tutorial part 1 done. You get yourself a build menu. Now you can build your first thing, which is going to be your desk. Now you can see here, there are some pals here. They're level 2. There are some pals probably around down there. There's some stone here you can gather, etc. Right? So the world is kind of like your oyster. You can play hunter and gatherer for a while and, you know, not really bother with the missions until you're ready to build your full base and move on, where you can't build anymore. Or you can start becoming more aggressive and starting to gather pals. And pals are going to be obviously a big part of this game because they will help you gather, they will help you build, they will help you hunt, and they will do a lot of the work for you. So while you're doing this, there's going to be these explorers also that have been around here. So this is a castaway. It's been a while since someone who doesn't stink of pals washed up here. The silence is living hell. The people that came here aren't with us any longer. The damn pals ate everyone. The fuck? You got to be careful out here. Here, take some basic supplies. So she gives you some basic supplies, which is nice. So here we're going to go ahead and jump down and go ahead and build our base. Now, I like to build a base in an area where there is quite a bit of room. This whole ruin area here is kind of nice, so you can build here if you like. So we'll start, I mean, you know what? We'll go down one more level. Down one more level here. And I'll show you guys the first thing you can do, and that's start building your base. Okay, so there's a build button. If you guys saw it, there's another wood. We'll grab that on the way. And as you pick up stuff and as you explore, guys, there will be, there is drop damage, by the way, so be careful of that. There will be things to grab along the way. So not just wood, but there's treasure chests. So for example, right in here, there's a treasure here as well. Right there, you see it. So you make sure you want to look around and get some of these things while you're exploring, right? So it is very important to do this. There's a copper key. Now, copper keys are important because there's red treasure chests around this game, and they require a key to open them. So you want to make sure you have it. So here, let's go ahead and grab our first bad boy. So we're gonna go ahead and punch this guy. You guys can see combat. You can move around. They do in fact hit you. And one little tip while you're playing this game, the pals can actually hurt each other. Okay, so if you can pit two pals against each other and one of them hit the other one, you are now in luck, my friend, because you are going to have a pal fight each other and make your life a lot easier in capturing them. And that's a great little trick to be able to catch pals that are more difficult. And I've been able to do that a lot during the game as I've been playing it. So there you go. Captured our first pal. Now, when the pal does get captured, you actually do get their items as well as if you just killed them. So you don't have to worry about killing a pal. You can actually capture them, and that will give you some, the items along the way as well too. So keep that in mind while you're doing that. So we're going to go down here. And this wide open area is a perfect area to start our base. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to press up and we're going to build our primitive workbench. This workbench is going to be where you're going to build most of your things. So hold X, you will build it. This part I don't like, but again, when you have pals working, it will make life a lot easier, I promise. Okay, so first thing we're going to do after building that is build a wooden club so we can bash things over the head with it. Now, let's go ahead and jump in and equip this. Okay, we acquired it. There it is. We got ourselves a club. Now, if you look here, the tutorial says open up the menu and go to your technology tab right there. These are things now that you can build as well. So you're going to use your points. Let's see, we got a few points here to go ahead and create a few of these things for ourselves. So some of these things are very important and you want to have them available to you right away. So we're going to go ahead and get everything that we can. There we go. The only thing we're missing is the wood structure set. So now that we have all of these things that we can create, we need to look at the recipes and what they require. So a lot of these things now are going to require stones. So with stones, you can either, again, find them all over the world on the ground, or you can take your club or your fist and punch some of these mines. Now that sounds like it would hurt. It will. But it's just a character, so it's not a big deal. So you guys can see here, I'm hitting it. There's 1 stone. I need 5, right? 2 stone. 3, and this is important, just so you guys are aware. A wooden club is not as effective as a pickaxe. Go figure, right? So you guys can see here, I'm only getting 1 stone at a time. With a pickaxe, you can get them a lot quicker, and you can get additional items along the way. So let's go back here to our workbench and create our pickaxe. And keep in mind, every item you have in this game has durability. You need to also repair your gear as you're playing this game. Now, another thing to remember too is there are different various elements in this game. So as it gets darker, like it is right now, if I don't have an outfit on, I'm going to be cold. So in order to avoid the cold, I need to create a campfire. Okay, so these are things that you have to also keep in the back of your mind while playing this game. Let me show you guys changing this and then going back in here. Look how much faster we get stone when you're using the proper equipment. Okay, so very important, guys, to remember that. Another thing to note, if you are used to these kinds of games, you know that there is a weight burden as well. So you cannot just pick up everything in the world and expect to be able to hold on to it. Eventually you will be weighed down by it. And the way to tell how much your weight is, you can press the menu here. I have 68 out of 300. So the more you pick up, the more you're going to weigh. You're going to need to use a lot of these things to either craft or put them away in storage, which storage we'll talk about very shortly, okay? So there you guys go. This is the basics of the game. Again, we are just now creating the tutorial. We're following the tutorial. It says to create a pal sphere, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and create a pal sphere now. There it is. We have enough to do so. So we'll create maybe 2. Create these 2 right now. And then attack pals to weaken them and press RB to capture them, okay? So build. Now after that, you see a new thing popped up. Build a pal box in an open space. So if you press R1, there's a pal box. I need some wood to do that. So we're going to go ahead and get some more wood. And we're going to go ahead and build our pal box next. So we'll go ahead and grab our wood. And let's just beat some trees down. And this should give us what we need fairly quickly. And while you're beating these trees down, you're also going to get fiber. That's going to be used as well too to create some other items with crafting, okay? So remember, every time you gather, every time you craft, you will get experience points. So it's absolutely viable to just be a gatherer and a crafter rather than an aggressive pal collector. So it depends on how you want to play the game. And that's, I think, the beauty of it. It allows you the luxury of playing casually or very aggressively and exploring the world as a hunter versus someone who's a gatherer and a builder, right? Here we go. We're going to build our first pal box. Bam! Now this instantly gives you a base. All right. Now if you look at your map, we now have a base. This is our base. Okay, right there where we're at. So this base will allow you to do multiple things. If I press pal box management, you guys can see I have 1 pal currently. I'm going to put that pal in either storage or the base. So we're going to put it in the base because that's a requirement right there. We've now completed that achievement and probably got a level. Now you can see the pals just walking around. It says in good condition on the right. Now you need to build the pal a bed, okay? So we're going to need to build a bed for that pal. But before we, there it is, pal straw bed right there. Okay, but we need 10 wood and 2 fiber. So back to beating down this tree and getting ourselves some more wood and fiber. So essentially, guys, it is Pokemon with survival options. What I highly suggest, is you guys jump in and start playing the game and do it on your own and have fun with it. This guy is just out for blood. Hey, bro, you good? What's going on? Let's capture him. We got him? Got him. There we go. Another land ball. Now you can put that land ball in your storage, or you can hold on to it and use it during battle. So let me first off build a bed and then a wooden crate, okay? Okay, trees destroyed. Also, you will get hungry. Grab berries. You can cook them in the campfire, or you can just eat them raw, etc. Right? Now your pal's running around. Should be doing some form of gathering for you. Unless it's a lazy pal, then it doesn't do anything. So pals, just so you guys are aware as well, have their own personality. So for example, this pal here is abnormal. 10% decrease to incoming neutral damage. Sometimes they have negative stats, sometimes they have positive stats. So it's important to actually collect multiple pals of the same kind. So you're like for example, this one here is nimble. What does nimble do? Let's go back here for a sec. Actually, let's put him back in here. So nimble is probably a positive trait. Usually when it's a negative trait, it's red. When it's a yellow trait, it's really positive. If it's neutral, it's white. So probably not a bad trait at all to have for him anyways. Okay, so we're going to build the first bed for our little guy. There we go. And you can see here, he's coming to help, right? So you're both building together, and this helps speed up the process of the game. Now, as you explore the world, you're going to come upon some very, very powerful pals, even early on. Not everyone has aggro, not everyone is aggressive, so make sure that you are picking and choosing who you're fighting, and that you're not just fighting everybody that you see, because you will get absolutely destroyed if that's the case. So let's go ahead and build a fire. Let's build a fire right around here. And again, this is going to be important for multiple reasons. Number one, cooking. Number two, keeping yourself warm at night, because if you don't keep yourself warm at night, you will lose health and you will die. Also, note that your pals can get hurt by this fire, so just watch for that when it happens. So you guys can see here, we can make lamb kebabs, baked berries, etc., right? Which is just better food overall. And again, while you're cooking, you can get yourself these experience points along the way and level up faster. You can see right there, again, hunting, gathering, cooking, all very important parts of the game. Okay, so you can see like on top left there, I'm getting experience points every time I do this, and this will give me also stats points to put towards my character. So once I'm done this, I'll stop right here for a second. You guys can see there is a section that gives you stats. So HP, stamina, attack, defense, work speed, and weight. Defense is the only one you can't manipulate. The other ones can all be manipulated. Again, if you want to be a hunter-gatherer, you want to focus here. If you want to be aggressive and you want to do, or stamina as well. If you want to be aggressive, you do HP and attack and stamina, and then you don't do these as much, right? So that's kind of the gist of the game, guys. I've personally been loving it. So if you're looking to jump on and play this game, it's currently out on Steam with early access. This is Payne. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.